Why did Maltese citizenship cost 10 times more than Vanuatu citizenship? It's not Maltese weather or the food, it's not the shopping or even the culture. It's a hidden hierarchy that determines the true value of every passport on Earth. Today, IMI is revealing the 4-layer government system that sovereign individuals, global citizens, and international investors exploit, and why understanding it could change your entire mobility strategy. Most people think that governments divide the world into two groups, citizens and foreigners, in or out, but that's wrong. Modern immigration systems operate on a spectrum, a pyramid if you will, with 4 distinct layers, with each layer granting different rights and access. And capital-based migration programs give you ladders to climb it faster, some inserting you at the base and others dropping you near the top. Layer 1. Temporary residency. The pyramid begins where genuine settlement potential starts. Tourist visas do not count. They offer no path forward. Temporary residency is really where the game begins. Consider work visas, student visas, digital nomad visas, golden visas, at least initially. They all sit at this foundational layer. But what do you get in return for your temporary residency in a country? Banking access, healthcare in some countries, education, often local employment rights. In other words, you can start building a life. But that life is fragile. You're on probation, and the state is watching. And while most temporary residency pathways lead to permanent residency, not all do. Some are dead ends, disguised as opportunities. We'll cover how to spot that difference later in this video. Layer 2. Permanent residency. At Layer 1, you must ask the state permission. At Layer 2, you're granted it indefinitely. Most Layer 1 temporary residency programs lead to Layer 2 permanent residency status, but be careful. Some do not. This is what most golden visa programs target: Greece, Panama, Qatar, Cyprus, Singapore. At Layer 2, you get indefinite rights to remain, strong deportation protections near equal access to public services, family reunification provisions. You've achieved settled status. But there's still a ceiling. You can live there, work there, build a life there, but you cannot vote. You cannot run for office. In the eyes of the law, at least, you're still not quite one of them. And by the way, we've detailed program pages for over 200 residence and citizenship pathways on the IMI website. You can check that out in the link in the description. For some investors, Layer 2 is the destination. But for others, especially those thinking generationally and seeking optionality, it's not enough. Layer 3. Citizenship. At Layer 3, conditionality, probation, and deportability effectively end. You have full political rights, unconditional residence, diplomatic protection, and the piece that matters most to multi-generational wealth: your children inherit this status automatically, and your grandchildren too. Citizenship by investment programs in Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, Egypt, El Salvador, Santo Tomé and Príncipe, Vanuatu, Nauru, Turkey, and beyond all operate at this layer. You invest in or donate to the country, you pass due diligence, and you receive citizenship directly. No years of residency or climbing required. But what happens when a country with citizenship by investment also belongs to something larger? When national citizenship unlocks supranational access. Now that's Layer 4. The European Union is the clearest example. EU citizenship grants freedom of movement, right of establishment, and equal treatment across 27 member states. When you acquire citizenship in Portugal, Greece, Spain, or Italy, you don't just gain rights in that country. You gain European Union settlement block citizenship simultaneously. Live in Paris, work in Berlin, retire in Lisbon, start a business in Amsterdam, open a bank account in Budapest. But the EU is not alone. The Organization of Eastern Caribbean States creates similar mobility. Mercosur in South America enables residents across major economies. The Gulf Cooperation Council provides comparable arrangements. This is the multiplication effect. A Vanuatu passport grants Layer 3 status in one country. EU citizenship multiplies your access across 27 jurisdictions. The premium reflects this multiplication. Malta's now defunct Citizenship by Investment program commanded prices above 1 million euros because investors weren't paying for Malta. They were paying for immediate Layer 4 access across the entire European Union. That direct option no longer exists in Malta, but European Golden Visa programs still offer routes, albeit directly, to Layer 4. They just require you to climb first. I'll link our guide to supranational settlement blocks in the description below. There you can learn which jurisdictions belong to which unions and all the benefits citizens get as a national of that member country. Now, investment migration offers two approaches to climbing this settlement rights pyramid. Upgrade paths: 1. Insert investors at either layer 1 or 2, then provide routes to citizenship through naturalization. Portugal's Golden Visa, Italy's Investor Visa, Brazil's Viper Visa, Panama's Qualified Investor Visa. You start low and climb high. The advantage here is flexibility. Some investors realize permanent residency is enough, but the disadvantage is time. Portugal takes 5 years minimum, probably 10 years by the time you're watching this, to naturalize. Spain requires 10 years of residency. Mexico, even with minimum physical presence, takes at least 5 years. And as Portugal has shown us, the regulations you start under aren't necessarily the ones you'll finish under. And 2, direct access programs place investors immediately at layer 3. Caribbean citizenship, Turkey, Vanuatu, El Salvador, Botswana. These timelines are measured in months, not years. Investors with a preference for diversification and optionality pursue both simultaneously. A Portuguese Golden Visa or Latvia Golden Visa for the long-term EU play. A Caribbean passport for immediate global mobility. Different ladders in different jurisdictions, but never reliant on a single route. Traditional immigration demands years of presence, language acquisition, cultural integration, and belonging earned through time within her borders. Investment migration decouples settlement rights from settlement itself. Portugal's Golden Visa requires just 7 days per year on average. Greece requires none during permit validity. Many Caribbean programs require no presence at all, not for acquisition nor for maintenance. That might change, but that's how it is now. Rather than measuring belonging through time spent within borders, these programs measure it through financial contributions and enhanced due diligence. Investors acquire the legal status traditional processes produce without undergoing that process. Now, the pyramid explains why certain programs attract intense scrutiny while others operate in obscurity. Residence by investment attracts limited attention. The effects stay within national borders. Citizenship by investment generates more. A Grenadian passport provides visa-free access immediately to 145 countries that didn't consent to Grenada's due diligence. But when EU member states operated citizenship by investment, the effects scaled across the entire union. One country's decision granted access to 26 others. This structural reality, not abstract ethics, drove the pressure that ended Malta's program. And it's why European Golden Visa programs command premiums their investment thresholds do not explain. The pathway leads to layer 4. So 4 layers: temporary residency, permanent residency, citizenship, and supranational citizenship. Each layer expands your rights, your security, and the territorial scope where you can exercise them. Investment migration provides accelerated pathways through this structure, substituting capital for time. Now you understand what you're actually buying when you invest in any residence or citizenship program. It's not, of course, just a document. Rather, it's a position on this pyramid and everything that position unlocks. So you learned all about settlement rights and how they expand your options in today's video. But what if a country steps out of line to deny visa-free access to a citizen by investment of a foreign country? Well, it's happening. Click on the video on your screen now to learn about this European country's secret ban on investment passports.